All right. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Giulianna Galli, and for my sociology class, we needed to do a podcast, which I chose the theme of the American dream. I got partnered with Portia, who is studying in Kenyon College right now. Can you introduce yourself, please? Your name, what are you studying, age, and stuff?
My name is Portia Gharai. I am 20 years old and I'm studying English with a Spanish minor, and I'm from Washington, D.C.
Nice. All right. So for getting into the American dream, would you like to share the definition, your own definition of the American dream, and how it's been shaped by your background or experiences and stuff?
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to think of like a formal definition of the American dream.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of this, I wouldn't say unattainable, but it's like this kind of idea that a lot of people in the country aspire to, that kind of is based on like a hard work ethic, I would say. And like, especially in America, I feel like there's always this idea where like if you work really hard, you can always like get more, you can make a good living and like have, I'd say, a family too, like maybe a nuclear family, like two kids, a
Mhm.
partner, and living in a good neighborhood in like the suburbs, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like it's a lot about focus on the work, like make connections with people and work your way up the ladder, like in corporate jobs.
Mhm.
And then you'll have this like American dream that everyone is trying to get.
Mm.
Um, yeah. What was the other question? Sorry.
Yeah. How do you think your background and your experiences have like shaped this idea that you have about the American dream?
Yeah, I would say for me, I think, I mean, yeah, I've talked about before my parents aren't from America.
Mm.
Um, I would say I definitely saw it with them because they left their countries in order to attain
Mm.
the American dream. Because my mom's from Ireland and my dad is from Iran, and kind of there weren't that many opportunities there.
Mhm.
So they came to America with the idea, oh, there's more jobs. My mom got a job as like in the monetary fund, and my dad started his own business. I definitely saw with my dad the most, I think,
Yeah.
because he worked like crazy hours trying to get his business to start off and like make connections with all these like other American people, and kind of seeing him come home really late and like work really hard to get his business to where it is now. I think it kind of shows that people come here with like the idea that there's way more opportunities, which there are a lot of opportunities,
Mhm.
and but it's really hard to get your name in, and like you have to work really, really hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not always, I don't know. It's just like it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Like, I was like trying to do a little bit more research, listen to a little bit more podcasts, read a little bit more about this American dream, right? And there was one example that I need to drop the name here. I need to remember the name so I can put it here to credit him. But he said Las Vegas is like the example of the American dream in a violent way, right? Everybody goes to Las Vegas to gamble and stuff, thinking they have that opportunity to become millionaire. And
Mhm.
indeed, the opportunity is there, but it's not achievable for everybody. One out of everyone that goes will be the person who earns a lot of money and wins, but there's a lot who loses all the money. But at the end, who always will win is the house, right? So,
Yeah.
and with that, also in the casinos, there's like always free drinks and stuff. for you to like be like more susceptible to want to. And I think that a lot in America is a lot of like materialistic stuff too. Like you are a lot on the grind to get all these things, like these material things, these consumerism, very culturally, right? Um, the other question would be, now growing up with a family of immigrants, what were what were some of the values or expectations that you thought were placed upon you to pursue this American dream, if you ever felt that way?
Um, I feel like for me, there wasn't really a pressure
Hmm.
to attain to like, I mean, definitely like my parents were kind of strict with like working hard. Like they put me into one of the hardest schools in like my city to like in
Hmm.
order to get me into like a good school and make sure I got a good education.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say my parents exactly like had totally different values than maybe some of my peers that had like American parents. I
Hmm.
feel like maybe I saw it in the way that my parents would work. Like they worked really long hours
Hmm.
and um in order to like have us move, because when I was younger we lived in a different neighborhood, in order to have us move to like a better neighborhood and like put us in a better school and all of that. um I think they did always want me to work really hard, and they were kind of more strict on me. Like I
Hmm.
talked like no sleepovers and like making sure I didn't have like watch TV for too many hours.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's not quite
Hmm.
like they gave me freedoms still in that sense.
Okay.
But
But for sure they were really interested in like um assuring your future, right? With like giving you this higher education and like this more strict kind of way of like, right? Of parenting, I think.
yeah, like they like when I call them, they're always like checking in on if I know what I like. I already decided I major in English. They're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with that? Like, do you know what jobs you want? Like, are
Hmm.
you thinking about like internships?" So like, it's not like a
Hmm.
lot of pressure, but like it comes up in all the questions they're asking. So
Yeah.
like, I guess I don't know. I don't feel too pressured by it, but like they definitely do think about that stuff because like that's what they thought about when they were like coming to America.
Yeah.
They're like opportunities and what jobs are going to get them the most money too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you as a young woman pursuing a higher education, do you feel that pressure in felt of like in terms of achieving that success in doing like work, internships, like to fulfill that American dream, to fulfill the like getting money and getting all this, also this lifestyle, right? That comes with it.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean, I went to school that was like my high school was like a private school, and they were more like very focused on women in STEM because that's something that women aren't really like in the workforce for. Like engineering is known to be a very male dominated thing. Um, but I personally was always interested more in like English and history. And I feel like I don't know, most of my friends from high school like ended up doing like STEM. And I feel like in general, I always felt kind of bad for doing like an easier degree, which a lot of people say they're
Mm.
like, oh, you shouldn't be stressed. Like English is easy or humanities are easy compared to like, and I agree. I mean, like, in a, not to, I totally agree, but to a point, I kind of do
Yeah.
agree that like they do make the sciences like a lot harder. Like, I know my friends that do that, like, are pulling all nighters all the time.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that kind of goes with the idea because it's a male dominated force. So, like,
Hmm.
people always look at it with more respect,
Yeah.
and humanities is always kind of looked down on.
Yeah.
And I think I do kind of feel pressure, like, oh, maybe I should choose like a harder degree or something more like male
Mm,
dominated that I have to get like my name in, because mine is in my class is mostly women, and like I don't really feel like that pressure to like work harder. I mean, I feel pressure to work hard, but like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
not to like be
yeah, like,
number one and like having yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
against like if I'm working against like other men, if I'm working against men, but
yeah,
yeah,
for
I feel like with that there is like a lot of pressure. Like people look at you kind of differently sometimes with what degree you do here.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And with that, like, do you feel like that? Do you perceive that this American dream is different for your male peers? Like this idea of like exactly that, since like the male dominated area, like the engineering male dominated area, right? You feel like there's more pressure to stand out in a way. Do you think that they are like that they perceive this American dream differently?
yeah, I would say they do. I think, I mean, maybe that's why so many men go into like engineering, because there's like the idea men are like the um what's the breadwinner, and when they like um have get a or a partner, they're like meant to be the one who are like earning all the money, and like also I feel like there's this idea with like the alpha male where like you have to be
Yeah.
like super rich, like I don't know, and like the tallest apartment in like New York City, and like you need cars
Mhm.
and you need like all this stuff, like fancy vacations, and like there's like this idea built up of like the corporate guy who like has his business and all this stuff. And like maybe that is why a lot of men go into engineering, or like these kind of
Yeah.
high earning jobs too. I think there's other reasons, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just feel like that applies to them.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, it comes with a lot of, I think for them also comes with a lot of pressure to like having to sustain and being able to be, to, yeah, to like be like giving money away. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people
Mhm.
are just like, you don't have money, that's not a good man. He's like, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I see what you say and what you're saying. Um, and with that, do you think that there's any inequalities between um between genders to pursue this American dream, or both personally or in a society?
Yeah, I would definitely say there are. I feel like I went to like an all girls school, so it's kind of hard sometimes to think. I mean, even in my all girls school, I feel like they definitely pushed STEM and education a lot. And then we do like collaborations with the boys' school, and they
Yeah.
would always do like a lot of sports days and like not really be pushing education
Mhm.
as much, because maybe like I don't know, maybe it had to do with the fact that when boys go more into the workforce, they won't have that pressure as much. So maybe they
Yeah.
don't have to like, they can like kind of in high school, maybe I wouldn't say slack off a little more, but like not have those worries.
Yeah.
Um, and then now going to college and going to like a co-ed school, I definitely feel like I do see those differences like in my classes. Guys definitely, I feel like just seem like they feel maybe less pressure in some of my classes. Like, I don't know. It feels like they don't feel worry with, I mean, as an example, like when they're answering questions, they just like raise their hand. Sometimes if they don't even know the answer, they'll just like raise
Yeah.
their hand and just like answer, which like in my high school all girls, people would like always be like, I don't know if this is right, or like I don't know if I should answer this. And it'd be like
Yeah.
very different. So I feel like with men for the American dream, maybe there's just not, I mean, I feel like there is pressure because they want to be the breadwinner, but
Yeah.
then everything's kind of built around them.
Yeah.
So it's like they
Yeah.
don't feel the pressure of having to get their name in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
I think for women till this day is a little